What's going on, everybody? This is Corey Lee's Boxing, and we are back with another banger. So please smash that like button, you guys, and subscribe. And yeah, man, I want to talk Gervonta Tank Davis versus Jake Paul. Is going down November 14th, okay, in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, it's gonna be on Netflix, man. So you guys definitely want to tune into this, man. It's a wild exhibition fight that finally got, signed, sealed. From what I'm hearing, it's going to be delivered. Mind you, this was all supposed to go down on the Lamont Roach, on the Lamont Roach versus Gervonta Tank Davis, card, because, Jake Paul was there. So, it didn't go down that day, because, we all know because Gervonta Tank Davis got a draw. And, I guess it wouldn't have looked right, with the draw and all that, and stuff like that. So they went ahead and, and then Gervonta Davis after that had legal problems. So here we are. It's going down. It's a huge size difference. They were talking about Jake Paul possibly fighting, they were talking about, Jake Paul possibly fighting Anthony Joshua, which is at heavyweight. Okay, so that's a huge difference within itself, But now they're talking about, these two guys finally getting in the square circle. It's been talked about for a year or two now. They've been going back and forth on Twitter and other social media outlets, and now it's looking like it's gonna happen. It's looking like it's gonna happen, man. It's one of those things that, I'm gonna be honest. It's a push for me because, it is an exhibition, so it's not technically a real fight, you know what I'm saying? But that could change from what I'm hearing with, with it being an exhibition, there being no judges, possibly no betting, okay? So that's going to be a big deciding factor because we know a lot of these fights, they get a lot of money, with bets and stuff like that, with prop bets and stuff like that, being able to, you being able to bet on the fight. So with this fight possibly not being able to bet on it, could cause a big, concern to a lot of fans because they want to get a piece of this pie, whether you like Jake Paul or whether you like Gervonta Tank Davis. Listen, man, both guys, you almost got two, bad guys, quote unquote, from some would say, fighting each other. You know what I'm saying? So I can't wait to see how this is going to go down, man. Everybody's talking about it, everybody's talking about it. I've yet to hear from Jake Paul or Gervonta Tank Davis about this fight. I would love to see how this press conference is going to go. I would love to see, the build up to this fight. It's one of those, wild, fights, but that's what we get with Jake Paul. I mean, did you expect anything less? I mean, he went from going to calling out, Anthony Joshua, and some would say he would be, was serious about fighting Anthony Joshua, to now they're talking about, possibly fighting Gervonta Tank Davis. So, with that being said, man, I would love to see this fight, and just the allure of this fight and see what comes up, with this fight. There's a lot of, whether it's good or bad, it's going to be, eyes on boxing, not eyes on mixed martial arts, not eyes on kickboxing, not eyes on, bare knuckle fighting. This is going to be, a lot of eyes on boxing, you know what I'm saying? Strictly boxing. So whether it's an exhibition or not, whether it's good or bad, and media coverage and stuff like that, people are going to be talking about it. So, and with that being said, man, I would just, I want to see how this fight unfolds. It's a huge, size discrepancy. Just a big size difference. It's pretty much what I'm trying to say, man. It's a big size difference. We both know that Gervonta Tank Davis fights at about 130 to 135, maybe 140 if the fight's right, and that's pushing it. They said he's small for 135. So now he's supposed to be fighting 100 and, 99 pound, 200 plus. Jake Paul's 200 plus. Let's just be honest, he's 200 plus. Jake Paul walks around at probably between 200 and 220. So, the guy's, massive. I know he's going to have to get down to at least 180 for this fight to fight Gervonta Tank Davis. And I'm pretty sure Gervonta Tank Davis is going to have to get up to about 160. But we've all heard of Gervonta Tank Davis ballooning in between camps upwards of, 160 to 170. Because remember, back when Gervonta Tank Davis was out, hanging out with Earl Spence and all of them, man, he was looking pretty big, man, sized up with, welterweights. And we know, Earl Spence, and they both were, neither one was in camp at the time. They were out partying, and this was a couple years ago, but still, Earl Spence, walks around, we know, at, 160, 170. That's on record. And, Gervonta Tank Davis considerably looked like he could possibly be, upwards of, dare I say, 170. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. Like I said, we'll see. We all know Gervonta Tank Davis can pack a punch, and we all know he's on record for knocking out heavyweights in sparring. So we'll see. We'll see. We will see. We know he packs a punch no matter what weight class, but will it transfer up to, the heavier weight classes? That's what it all, and will he be able to land that punch when it counts, when the bright lights are on? He wasn't able to land that punch against, Lamont Roach. So we're going to see, man. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, man. This is Corey Lee Boxing, and we are back with another banger. Peace out, you guys.